morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. How y'all doing today? Yeah, so I've been like thinking, I had a couple videos I have set to go up, and then I was like, I almost felt like they were inappropriate. And the reason I say that is because they were planner related. And I mean, yeah, they're old planners that I've had, and you know, old washi tape and old stickers and all that kind of stuff that I was putting in it. But I was talking about stuff I wanted to buy, and I was like, God, but I don't want to buy them until like November. So anyway, they're gonna probably go up, but they're old. I filmed them Sunday, like back to back. I did my like Happy Sunday, and then I did my budget, and then I did that, and I was trying to film for the week before the other stuff transpired. So yeah, so you're gonna see some old stuff. I'm probably just gonna let it go and let it loose, so and let it come out. Yeah, so those are gonna come up. And yeah, I mean, this is just like a Wednesday chit chat. These aren't gonna be normal. I might vlog today, I don't know. I've got Jeremy in there. He's in a pretty good mood. We've got River inside. They're just loud. And this boy plays the same video over and over. Well, not the same video. It's the same song in a different YouTube video, like Color Fingers or something. Oh my God. I told his mom, I said, your kid's giving me nightmare. She started laughing. She's like, I don't know what it is with that, but he finds every YouTube video and just sits there and replays it. And at least it's a nursery rhyme. There's probably something subliminal in it that he shouldn't be watching. I don't know. But yeah, and I also wanted to let y'all know that on the I'm trying to comment on every comment, or like reply on everything that you guys have replied on the previous 2 videos, and I see most of it on my phone, so it comes across jumbled, and it'll be mixed in and stuff, so that I might miss something. It's not intentional, and then like I'll jump on the computer way later in the day, and then I'll see them, you know, and then I'll reply later. I'll throw a like up or something, but it's not intentional. So if I don't comment or reply to you, shoot, send me an email. I'll see the email thing on my phone. I don't get notifications on my phone of comments. Maybe it's settings I have that I have to go in and check, because I'm definitely not getting notifications of comments. I'm having to go in and look. As you can tell, I'm sitting outside. People are leaving. You know, it's funny. Before we were told we had to move, well, at the end of the lease, I have till September 30th. And the help, obviously, amazing. That took like half the stress away. I do have approval for vacation from work from like the 9th to the 16th, I think. But our blackout period is from the 17th on, meaning I can't, 17th through the end of the year, basically. It's overtime and all that stuff. So we definitely need to move and be settled and stuff before that. I took the vacation then. I can change it if it's approved. But now we're house hunting really strongly. Like I can go throw down first and last, or last in security, and you know, the first of the month have the rest. I mean, it's no big deal. I need to find a place that will let me take my Great Dane. And I mean, besides just having so many pets and whatnot, yes, I'm a sucker, and you know, I'm like, God, I really wish I wouldn't have been a sucker. But this little boy, well, he's not little, he was abused bad. I got this dog, skin and bones. He was afraid of everybody. He had such bad doggy anxiety that I had to medicate him. I had to spoon feed him, you know, eggs, protein powder, things, because he would eat but he was only ever allowed 1 cup of food a day, and he was kept in a crate. And if you think of a cup measure and then you think of a Great Dane growing, I mean, he still doesn't eat a lot, and he's still considered on the thin side of being a Great Dane. But that moment that I saw that he trusted me, it took about 2 weeks, and he trusted that I wasn't going to put him in a crate. I wasn't going to hit him with a broom. I wasn't, I was going to make sure he had food at all times. I leave dog food down. The bowl's empty, I fill it. But he's a nibbler, and so are my other little dogs. They nibble. So they graze. Grazers, that's the word, grazers. And now I've had this dog for 5 years. I'm not giving him to somebody else. He was owned by an elderly couple, and he does not like old people. He wouldn't hurt them, but the hair stands up on the back of his neck. He stands in front of me and he barks. I mean, granted, maybe if I let him go, he would, but that's the only time he's ever even slightly crazy. He is trained perfectly. Perfect. I mean, he is better than my children. He scratches at the door. If he's hungry and his food bowl is empty, he brings me his food dish. He comes, lays down, sits down. I can let him, well, you saw in one of my vlogs, I let him run around the yard. And, for the most part, if I call him, he'll come. If there's something more that he's interested in, he will just be. So now I got to get somebody that will trust that just because he's big, they won't care that he's in there. And I have no problem showing videos or letting them meet him and love it, because everybody that meets him, he sits on their lap. Now, he likes people, except old people. So I don't, it's getting to that point where they're saying, well, let me meet him and let me see and blah, blah, blah. So I'm definitely not aggressive. But yeah, so that's now the hunt. And I've kind of been looking, I'm off today, so I've kind of been looking around to see, I'm going to start calling some places, because I am not opposed to getting out of here on the 1st of August. Not opposed. I guess I always get off on tangents. I don't know what I do. But, I didn't want to leave because, like I said, my kids love it here. They can go outside and play. It might be a trailer park, but the neighbors are all really, really nice. They all know, we all kind of know each other. And, I can let my kids go outside and I don't worry. However, now that I know we have to go and it's a little bit less stressful, it's been like, okay, let's go. Chloe and I are making up packing lists, like what we're going to do first. We're going to go get some boxes. We have now, it's not the race for, oh my God, we don't have money. It's the race for, we have time. It's to find the right place that won't care that we're there. I want to stay for 2 to 3 years because I want to finish BS2. And, which I don't have a lot on BS2. It's really my credit report. And then I want to get my emergency 6 months because I'm not doing this again. Oh dear God, no. And then, save for the down payment for a house, the 20%. I really, 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 I've never bought a house before. So, I guess a PMI is a bad thing. I don't even know. That's what's kind of funny. I'm going to need some education on house buying from some people, on what I need to look for and what's the best route to go. So all you Dave Ramsey people that bought, there's a bug on my phone. All these, I don't want to say Dave Ramsey people, all of the people who have bought a home and put it, I need to know the best way to go. But I don't need it now, going forward, but I definitely am going to be asking because I don't know. And that's like 3 years down the line. And I plan on doing YouTube videos on everything, until I'm in BS7 and I'm giving money to people like it was just given to me. So, but yeah. And, so that's kind of what we're doing and how we're hanging today. I'm going to be looking, and it doesn't have to be the perfect house. It has to be the house that says no problem with your dog and you can move in. That's it. That's all I want. because it's not permanent. And then I'll be more picky when it's permanent home. I've had a couple hater comments, which are kind of funny. They actually made me laugh. Somebody said I'm packing my children in like sardines in a trailer and they wouldn't want to be my neighbor, and how dare I have so many kids when I'm so poor, and blah, 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 blah. Well, one, don't care what you think. And two, I didn't plan on 7 kids. One doesn't live with me. I truly didn't plan on 7 kids. It's not what I did. But what am I going to do? Go return them? I was not, quote unquote, poor when I had them. You know, we were talking about this last night. It's like, man, I had 3 kids in diapers. had kids on formula. I was not on food stamps. I worked, my husband worked, and we just did it, and we didn't struggle. Now, granted, I know inflation or whatever has gone on, you know, but he can't work right now. And, you know, life changes from where you were and where you are. It can happen to anybody. It can happen to somebody in baby step 7, that they can be live like no one else, given like no one else, and then their whole world shatter. Granted, I don't want that for anybody. Oh my God, no. But it could happen. And I mean, you just, you know, it's life. It's life. It's Murphy. It is what it is. But I do have a doctor's appointment for my husband on Monday. I mean, we've had this appointment for 2 months, but he hasn't been able to work for a few years. And the reason is, and I've tried to explain it in comments, and we have tried SSI. They say he can do work, like there's other jobs he can do. He actually was in construction, like house building. He did like the door frames and the windows and the trim and that kind of stuff. I don't even remember what that's called, but that's what he did. And so it's outside, it's in the heat, and right now his asthma is so bad, the doctor was like, no, you can't do it. But what started all of that was his blood pressure started raising, and he's 7 years younger than me. He's 38. Okay, I mean, it shouldn't be. It was 220 over like 150. It was like insane. We actually took him to the hospital because he couldn't get his asthma in check, and they had a crash cart waiting for him because of his blood pressure. And he was like, I feel fine. I just can't breathe. And they couldn't get his blood pressure down, but they got his breathing down, and his blood pressure wouldn't go down. And you know, he's like, I'm thinking, you know, because when you're 38, do you really check your blood pressure like you should? Most people don't. He's like, I feel fine, nothing's wrong, you know. And then they ran all these sorts of tests. They admitted him, ran all these sorts of tests. I mean, had him on so many drugs to get his blood pressure down, and they finally got it down, but then they had to come up with a quote-unquote drug cocktail that would keep his blood pressure down. And it's funny, his blood pressure went down, and then he started gaining weight. So and come to find out, the high blood pressure is very hereditary. His dad has it, his brother has it, and whatnot. But with all the tests that they ran, they go, oh, your thyroid levels are, I get these backwards. I want to say they were low. They were a negative, like 176, I believe. That, or they were 176. One of the two. You know, they threw him some, because this was the hospital, and they said, go see your primary. They threw him some levothyroxine and said, take this, but you need to see your primary doctor. So, you know, and then you start thinking, you know, hospitals are great and all, and they run the tests, but they run tests on like everybody and everybody. So was he on the right medications? Was he on the right combo? So we got him finally. The primary doctor is like, takes us forever to get in. And so we got him into the primary doctor, and the primary doctor said, oh my God, you know, I'm going to retest you, but for right now, you know, and she put him on a levothyroxine thing. She had she kept having to raise it. I don't know. She started him off at 75 milligrams. And she goes, this is probably too high. And I don't know why people are coming outside. I'm talking.
I have fussy babies.
Oh. Anyway, and she said this is probably too high. So, and we went back in a month later. She redid his blood test. And she's like, your thyroid levels haven't changed. So we're going to up you to 125. So that changed him a little bit. So mind you, in this whole time, let's just say his thyroid levels were so bad. You know, they ended up doing an ultrasound on his thyroid to look for cancer or anything that could be causing this, and they have no idea what could be causing this. Excuse Chloe's butt, she has to walk past me apparently. Anyway,
That's not in the camera.
Anyway, so then she you know, there was nothing there, not even enlarged, but his thyroid levels were insane. We go back and she's like, still not dropping like they should with this medicine for 30 days. I'm going to up it again. So she upped it to 175 milligrams of levothyroxine, and that's what got him into the normal range and keeps it in the normal range. Thyroid is no joke. It could have put him into a coma, apparently. And your thyroid also kicks off anxiety. He never had anxiety before. Now his anxiety is so bad. I mean, bad. And that's why I say, when I said he can help, but he's not helping, or he won't help, is because he sends his brain into a tizzy. I had to tell him to back off because he was trying to help with looking for the house, but he would go, can't afford it, can't afford it, can't afford it. We're gonna have to live with Jake. My son Jake lives in Orlando, and he and his girlfriend live in a studio apartment. It is so small. But it's perfect for him because him and his girlfriend are also trying to save up to buy a house outright. So they don't want a lot of expenses in their rental. They are putting everything they make into the bank. So, you know, they don't need it. They don't have kids. They have a kitchen, they have a bathroom, they have a bed, and they have a TV. That's all they need, and a computer, I think. And they work night shift, so they sleep during the day and leave. You know, whatever. He goes, we're going to have to move in with Jake. And I'm thinking, no, we are not. Then it'll be like, can't afford it, can't afford it, can't afford it. Nope, there's nothing. And he would slam down the mouse on the computer and walk away, which would then get me into a tizzy, because then I, in turn, would be like, well, you need to get a job. You need to do something, because this isn't even a playful game right now. And this was before. And that is what, I mean, every human being has some sort of anxiety, and in them, you know, it's how you can control it. You know, I mean, anything can make anybody anxious. It was getting constant on my side, and he's finally backed off a little bit, you know, but that's why he's not working. That's why I'm saying he can't help or won't help, because he's not helping me with him getting all anxious and stuff. And that anxiety is caused by the thyroid, and yes, he's medicated for it, and he sees a doctor. And again, we're going Monday, and she's going to be rechecking all of his levels and all of his stuff. And now I'm going to even ask her if she's got an emergency, like if there's a pill he can take, or I am anti, I would rather be the essential oil girl. I don't have one. I don't like to give my kids medicine. I will, obviously, if they need it, but I don't, you know, I try to see if they'll be better on their own, I guess. I'm not the pill type of, you know, pill popper type of person. I guess, you know, I don't run to the doctor, ooh, I need a pill because, you know, I cracked a knuckle. Like, some people are like that. I'm not. You know, and I don't want him to be on medications, but he's on. One of these days, I'm going to pull out his medications, and you'd think for his age, he's 38, it covers a countertop. He's got blood pressure, asthma, thyroid, anxiety, and they're different. And it has to be this cocktail of stuff, or it doesn't work. He's got 3 different blood pressure medications I used to take at different times of the day, and if he is even off his blood pressure spikes, it's absolutely crazy. But anyway, that's why I'm saying he can't or won't help. And we've battled SSI with him to get it. It's, you know, he doesn't have a physical, like, you know, walking down the street, he looks normal. You would have no idea. But he definitely has a lot of health issues. And the asthma part stops him from working outside, which stops him from working in a house. However, we are going to have that tested, or we're going to talk to the doctor on Monday, because he might be able to get a landscaping job from a neighbor. But again, I'm not gonna have him hurt his health. That's ridiculous. You know, we can side hustle all day long, you know, if that's what we have to do to survive. I'm not gonna have him hurt his health to, you know, that's silly to me. And there are many families where the husband works and the wife doesn't. You know, he does other things. It's just now the wife works and the husband doesn't. However, he wants to. But with this whole moving situation, anytime we have ever moved, he's drove me bananas. Absolutely fucking absolutely bananas. Excuse my French. I'm not editing that out. Just sorry. Absolutely flipping bananas. It's the change. It's the doing. Chloe and I have already sat down and talked about it. We know we're doing it all. He will help put the stuff in the truck. He will help unload it. We will pack. We will unpack. He will do his thing. He has always been like that. I don't know why. And now coming back down to it, I do think it was all of his health issues, I think, were there, but not as prevalent as they are now. So, and I feel like I'm making excuses. I'm not. I guess if you were to know him, you know, me getting on camera makes him, he gets a little anxious. If you notice, he doesn't get on camera like at all. Like yesterday's video, he held it. He'll talk a little bit, but he doesn't, he gets really anxious, self-conscious, whatever. We're working on it, as long, you know, and it will be a year on this medication, you know, so as long as we can keep him stable, there's no reason. I'm more worried now about his breathing. So if the doctor says, yeah, she doesn't see why not, that he can go out and do landscaping with the neighbor, then he's gonna go. So, you know, but I'm not gonna hurt his health. And I'm sure y'all understand that. But I do feel like I'm making excuses now and I'm just rambling. So, but going forward, I just wanted to put out, I'm gonna still do my normal content. I'm gonna do a moving series, and it's not gonna be, I mean, it might be moving vlogs, like, you know, we packed this box today, or look what we did, or we threw this out. Now, it is Florida, and I pack early, and I know other people live in Florida, but it's now summertime in Florida, and every bug or alien bug is out. Like, there's always something new, and I've lived here for 15 years. There's some new bug or new creature I see on a weekly basis that I'm like, what in the hell is that? So a lot of the stuff that we start packing, we're gonna actually start packing Sunday. A lot of the stuff that we start packing, we're gonna also wrap in plastic, the saran wrap, just so if it's sitting inside cardboard, bugs like cardboard. I mean, I know it's in my house. No, I don't have bugs in my house, but you know, you get the random spider, or you get the random this, or lizard. We get lizards. Lizards come in all the time. And they like to go inside cardboard and hide in little things. So just to prevent that, you're gonna see us wrapping a lot of stuff in saran wrap and then putting it inside of a box. Those are for the long-term boxes that sit. Obviously food's not going now, but I really don't want to get into a new house and open up a box and go, ooh, spider, you know. So, you know, big old black widow brown recluse spider decides to crawl inside a box and then lay eggs and stuff like that inside the stuff. So I can quickly pull stuff out that's personal stuff wrapped in saran wrap, not worry about it, and toss the box outside or unpack the box outside just to make sure that there's no bugs or lizards. I don't mind lizards, they don't bother me, but you know, they crawl up your walls and stuff.
We had one lay an egg on our wall.
In an old house we lived in about 5 years ago, we had a lizard lay an egg on our wall. And the kids were so little, they wouldn't let me take it down. They were afraid this lizard was gonna have, you know, they were gonna kill this baby lizard. So I had a lizard egg on my wall.
Never hatched.
Never hatched. I kept telling him it's not gonna hatch. That's not an appropriate place.
Like, wouldn't leave it alone
but the
for
lizard
like 2 weeks.
wouldn't leave it for like 2 weeks. She would lay on it, or he would lay on it, or whatever they do. We put a flashlight up to it. You could tell it wasn't viable, but kids would not let me take it down. So I had a lizard egg on my wall. Gross. Really gross. But they were happy, and then when I finally convinced them that it wasn't viable, we caught Mama and we took the egg and we took it outside. They thought, you know, whatever. But this vlog, this chitter chatter thing I've got Hi River. This chitter chatter thing I've got going on is 26 minutes long. So, I'm just gonna upload this raw so it doesn't take me 17 years, and we're probably maybe gonna vlog today. Maybe. I do have that planner video that I put up that I made on Sunday before everything else came about. I do have that coming up tomorrow, so just know it was before all that other stuff came about. But that way it can just go out, because I've actually planned this week and you're gonna see it on a Thursday. So, but yeah. And again, thank you all for everything. Please like, subscribe, comment, leave me comments, but just remember, if I don't see them, then that's why. If I don't answer, it's because I'll get to them. I will check on my on the computer later, like once a day or late or something. But yeah, just like, subscribe.